thinker, aren't you? You know what I mean? Call yourself what? Spirit. You're free to think anything you want to think. You're free to be anything you want to be. You're a free thinker. You think of the most outlandish things. You know, your imagination just runs wild. Most times it's untamed, has no boundaries. You're a free thinker. Be honest. Be honest. You're a free thinker. It's okay. Or is it? Listen, this is not no scolding, no, shall I say, shall I say, slander or disrespect to anyone that considers themselves a free thinker. As a matter of fact, I can I can say that I'm a free thinker. I mean, this is the reason why am speaking on this live. I'm speaking on this topic. I decided to. I feel like this is my. I'm going to go to the conclusion first, and then I'll present my supporting details, and then you can make the hypothesis from you know both presentations. So check it. I came to the conclusion of free thinking. Free thinking is is hurting us. Free thinking, free thinking has caused more harm to I could say the human race than anything. Free thinking. Follow me on this. You know, I'm saying like being able to think freely, you know, however you like, which is in a way you can't even control it, right? Some would say, but I'm gonna get there. But I believe we do have a way to control it. But I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna build up to that. But free thinking is causing us harm. Has caused us harm. I wanna elaborate on my stance on this is that when I think of free thinking and you know if you disagree, leave it in the comments. When I think of free thinking, and I would think that any logical person will look at it this way. Free thinking doesn't have, like I said, boundaries. It doesn't have a form. What I mean by form, it doesn't have a mold, you know, a standard. Free thinking is the standard, right? Being a free thinker is the standard of, free thinking. Like you consider it no holds bar, no limits, no ceiling, no filter, right? That became popular in this society. Oh, he has no filter. She has no filter. Just follow me as a, presenter. So free thinking, you're a free thinker, right? Just follow me. When I think of free thinking or a free thinker, I look at it as you're a stray. You're a stray dog. Like you got away. You got away too far. You're far away from the pack. Now follow me on this. I'm not coming from no stance of. Oh, I just want to get this clear. I'm not coming from no stance of nothing political. Nothing political. No parties, no donkeys or elephants. None of that shit. None of it has zero to do with the government. It has zero to do with. I could even say it has zero to do with any religions as well. Now, what it do have, what it does have plenty to do with is your spirit, right? I mean, we talking about free thinking, right? Are you a free thinker? I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. Be honest. I'm sure you are. In 2025, I guarantee you, everyone's a fucking free thinker, one way or another. You have conformed to your own beliefs. You are your number one. You are the president of your campaign. Yeah, you might run into others that may align up, you know, may align up. The teeth and the comb might align up, and you know what I mean. But oftentimes, you are the president of your domain. You are the leader of your what you push, what you believe in, right? You are the leader of that. Captain, king, queen, you know what I mean? This is how you get down. This is your belief system. This is your mountain. Now, what what got me to talking about this is that's not that's not uh I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a good thing. in a way, you know what I'm saying? It's beneficial. It's beneficial to acknowledge your individual essence, you know, your individual traits and things like that. But I'm speaking from a point of once you go beyond that, like you basically playing a mini god. Mm. You know what I'm saying? You basically playing a mini god, and that's where the free thinking thing. That's where the free thinking thing becomes a problem. That's where the free thinking thing, you know what I mean, becomes a problem. You say, why is that? Why is that? Why would that be a problem? That you are the captain of your domain. You know, you push your belief system day in and day out. You believe in it wholeheartedly. Why would that be a problem, right? It's proven to work for you, right? I mean, oftentimes when somebody is so engulfed, so consumed in their, yeah, consumed is probably the wrong word. I'm thinking deeper. It's innate in you, your belief system. It's pretty much that's how you operate. This is how you got to where you're at right now, and you're like, hey, it's been working for this long. Why should I change it? Why should I change it? Right? If anything, as you get older, it gets stronger. It gets stronger. You might change, put a little tweak here and there, change things up every, you know what I mean, here and there. But overall, your whole belief system is the same. And that I'm pretty sure that applies to every human being on this earth right now. Just looking at, you know, the earth as a whole, and what we're all witnessing, what we're all going through, whether it be socially, economically, uh, spiritually, like it's pretty evident that everyone is putting themselves first. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty evident that everybody is. It's like every man for themselves. Everybody. You know, and you have this right? As a human, you have this right? You have this right to think what you want. Pretty much do what you want as well with your life. You as an individual, you have the right of that, right? But do you actually have the right of that? Do you? There's consequences, right? There's consequences. Because I say do you, because it's like, yeah, you can choose to, do anything you want. And when you say anything, but there's consequences. Like you'll get results. You either get good or bad results from it, right? This is what happens. This is just logic. Now, going back to the statement I just said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like you just been doing this day in and day out, year in and year out. Like so, it's like why are you going to change it up? If anything, it gets stronger as you get older. But I just think it causes more harm than anything, though, because you're just going further and further from you're straying away further and further from truth when you're a free thinker. When you're a free thinker, how can you determine what's true? You done convince yourself that what you believe in is true. So much that, like I said, you're the president of it. Like you're the CEO. You know what I mean. You're the head nigga in charge on your belief system, on what you believe in. And I went as far as saying you damn near a mini god as far as when it comes to your world, your domain, your belief system. You're a mini god. And I use that strategically because, and sarcastically, you're not a god. So where would the truth come from if you're not a god? Or where would the validity of it, come from if you're not a god? And you being a free thinker, you have these beliefs, and you know it's pretty much molded and shaped your experiences, and everything has molded and shaped your belief system. You know what I mean? You're from day one, as far as you can remember. That's what's shaped, how you view the world, with your world view, right? And it's so deeply, you know, rooted in your mind, in your heart, in your spirit, basically, that whatever you believe in, it has to be true. It has to be true. Now, this doesn't apply to everyone because some people are actually waking up. Some people are actually waking up. I can say that, like I stated earlier in this live, I can say that I'm a free thinker, and when I say that out of conviction, meaning that I don't look at it as a good thing. Now that I have, I guess I could say some information, access some information pertaining to what's true, pertaining to truth, period. Like all the while, whatever I'm thinking that is true, right? Like man, I swear to God, you know how people, I swear to God, I hate that type of shit, but you get what I mean? Like you live and die on that hill. Like it's straight up and down. This is your whole get down. This is true. This is you know. There's no denying it when it comes to you. Like this is your truth, and this is your story, and you sticking to it. Now, when you learn truth, and it completely contradicts whatever it is you thought was true or you stood on, and then it exposes exposes that, damn, me being a free thinker, man, that made me feel That's kind of ignorant when it comes to truth, right? It's kind of disrespectful. It's like being ignorant to truth, disrespectful to truth. You know, the real deal, the real, you know what I mean? The real McCoy. Like it's ignorant to that. You're being ignorant to the truth when you're a free thinker. And for us to even know the truth, you have to be like a end all be all. You got to be a omnipresent individual. You got to be, you know what I mean? A God, right? To me, you got to be the most high. None of us are the most high. And to learn the truth, we go to the most high. To do anything, we go to the most high. That's how you know you ain't no God. So it goes back to that free thinking thing. So it's like, how can you be a free thinker when God is the one who put even those thoughts in your mind? Cause you ain't no God. And it sounds very, to people that ain't understanding me, this might sound spooky or whatever to you. You know what I mean? Foreign or what have you. But what I'm alluding to, what I'm getting to is that there's no there's no there's no there's no truth in me but God, if that makes sense. There's no truth in you but God. There's no good in you but God. Meaning, if it ain't come from God, all that other shit is harming you. Seriously. Just as a free thinker, you being an individual, a human being, God's creation, and you're able to stray away from truth, stray away from God. Truth equals God. Love equals God. Truth equals love. Like you know what I mean? When you look at it from this angle, when you look at it from that, this standpoint. Once again, if you don't understand it and it sounds spooky to you, hey, I understand. Shit, to each his own. You know, more, blessings to you on your journey. But to the people that do understand me, it's I'm saying, as a free thinker, it's like, yeah, you free to think whatever the hell you want to think. You free to do whatever you want to do too. Does that make it right? Does that make it good for you? Even if you do it a million times, you do it a million times, and it ain't destroyed you yet. It ain't destroyed you yet. Who's to say it ain't? It ain't destroying you though. Slowly but surely, killing you softly. Like, who's to say that it ain't uh, uh, kept you sleep? Kept you away from truth. Being a free thinker most definitely is a direct connection to keeping you away from truth. Being allowed to think or do whatever the hell you want to do, in a way, is lawless. Because how can you make up your own rules? Like I said, once again, you the president of your own domain. You the president of your belief system. You know what I'm saying? You got your morals, you got your own laws, you got your own, justice system and all that shit embedded in your whole psyche. So, but who's to say that yours aligns up with actual truth? Yeah, it's keeping you alive. Yes, it allows you to withstand situations, and may even be able to get you in certain rooms, or put money in your pocket, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But don't you think if, to be a free thinker, you actually would want to know that at least what you thinking or what you stand on and believe in, your belief system, you would at least want it to be tested that is true, right? That is truth, as opposed to just running. Because to me, when I think of free thinker, I look at it as wild. It's wild. The actual meaning of wild, like untamed, no order. The structure, like when I think of order, I just did a live on this recently. When I think of order, I think now that I know, of course I didn't know all this when I was younger, but now that I know, like boom, like the natural order of things. The natural order of things in this earth is God, man, woman, child. Like, and that means something. And when it's out of order, you gonna see the you know what I mean, the results of that. You're gonna see the results of things being out of order, as if it's like no no structure, no law. Like it's just chaos. Do what you feel. Do what you feel. Do as you you know what I mean. What is it? You free to do what you want. That's what I align the free thinker up to when I hear that. When I think of being a free thinker, because I believe we was all, especially here in 2025, there's nobody on this earth that wasn't born into this structure as where people are a free thinker. Yeah, we had ancestors that went through times where uh, laws were, these man-made laws were more strict, more enforced in different time periods than others. But even that proves my point. Even that proves my point. I mean, we all can attest to there being a one specific group that really shows the point that I'm making as far as being free thinker, playing God, a free thinker, setting your own rules, setting your own world, worldly views, and making them true, making them so true to everybody that you even control underneath you. You making them, making it as truth, making it the standard, the standard of truth, so much that you even implement, you even implement consequences and punishment if no one aligns up with it. That's how you know the free thinker thing is very harmful, very dangerous, very destructive. And they have the nerve to even use other methods like creating so-called religions like Christianity, saying they're Christ-like. Christ wasn't no free thinker. Yahweh, Yeshua, Jesus, he wasn't no free thinker. And I'm not the most, and I don't even say this with like in my heart, like as if I don't, like I'm not on my path, on my journey. I'm just saying when it comes to being a Bible thumper or anything like that, I'm not even a person that's considered that. What I can say is the word is in me and I seek my maker, I seek my creator. And this is like how I even come down to topics like this and being able to expound on topics such as this because I feel as if I'm tapping into a spirit, a time in my life where, man, I'm actually being seen and heard by my maker, man. And it's like I don't want to think like I want to, Lord. I don't want to be able to think anything I want. I want to have some structure with it, and the only way I can I want to have some, you know, the only way I can have any kind of structure put to it is through you, Lord. I want you tell me what to think. You tell me what to eat. You tell me where to go. You know what I mean? You tell me how to protect my family. You tell me how to provide. You know what I mean? You provide for like that. That see what I mean? Like when it comes back to that free thinker thing, it's not on some like I'm doing it myself. I I got some bright idea. I got some brilliant idea. And I ain't even talking about on the, of course, positive note. Like, 'cause even in that note, like I can still say that I gotta know that it's coming from, the Most High. At this point in my life, like I'm actually feeling like I have to listen. Like I'm respecting that I have to listen, if that makes sense. I'm respecting that I have to uh, abide, abide in the Most High. I'm respecting that I have to obey, even if it takes me to the end of, even if it takes me to my last day. Like just me, like that better late than never. You know what I mean? Like that's how I look at it. Like I'm like, I might have been late to the party, but it's like, this feels way more fulfilling than being able to, or being able to do as I feel. Be freely to do anything you damn want, as opposed to uh, uh, and being free to do anything you please, and also trying to align myself like where do I fit in these the different demographics on this earth that they done created, the different labels and all this, you know what I mean? Like, and it ain't even on no like literally with me trying to fit in with something like, cause I even then, boom, free thinker. I'm the type that'll make my own lane. Now, I'm coming from the space of speaking on it like that is wrong. That's wrong. Who am I to say, oh, this is how I'm gonna live my life, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna eat, this is how I'm gonna maneuver this life journey. I'm gonna do it my own way. Now I can see if you don't know the right way, you don't know, like you don't have that connection, that spiritual connection to the Most High. Ask Him. I was always taught to ask and you shall receive. You ask and you'll receive. Like we ain't even got to put the thee, thous, the shalls, the, all that in it. You can literally ask, and you gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Talk, just talk. I've always teach people when you pray, man, talk to God like it's your people, man. Talk to God like it's your family, man. Because He is your family. That's why I teach my son. That's why I teach his mother. Like, it's just, that's how it is. Because that's how I was taught by my mother and my grandma. Rest in peace. Like, I was taught to just talk to God. Not just even in the bad times, because that's no, that's popular as well. You know what I mean? Even in the great times, the amazing, spectacular times, the triumphant times, right? Like the super blessings, people be like, "Oh, I thank God." Or when it's bad, when it's terrible trauma, "Oh, please help me, God." And it's like, nah, man, just on a regular day, like just a regular day. Like develop that. Like that should be made popular to develop a relationship with your creator. And I think they use words like blasphemous or what have you. I just think it's purely just not logical for you not to believe in a maker because you can't do it yourself. See, that's that free thinking shit again. What's ironic? What's ironic about being a free thinker though? You have a ceiling. You'll get so high in your free thinking process that you have to come down. You'll reach an empty equation. You can't solve the equation. You'll reach a dead end. Like you won't be able to solve, your hypothesis. Prove your hypothesis. You won't be able to. That's the problem of being a free thinker. It's harmful to you. It's harmful to you. It holds no truth. It holds no foundation. It's pretty much throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. Even if you've done it for 60 years, 30 years, 20 years, like it's just not. It doesn't have a proven success rate. Yeah, you might have a new car. Yeah, you might have a big house. Yeah, you might have a good job. Yeah, you might have all the friends you need, all the food you need in the fridge. Whatever it is, and you're thinking nine times out of ten, those same people will probably spit out what token slogans like "I worked hard, I'm good with money, I was determined, uh, I grind, all the cliche shit, right? And then of course they'll throw in, but I give all the glory to God, right there, right? They'll give the glory to God in the mix of all that, right? And it's understandable. It's understandable. All I'm saying is through the whole process, though, through the whole process, you really, don't be operating on the type time of what like a lot of it be overkill. Like you really don't be on the type of time that God wants for you. You know what I mean? Even if it hasn't been taken, everything working right. That's what I keep saying. Like even if everything's working out for you, like you know what I mean. You had your ups and downs, you had your hiccups and things, trials and tribulations or what have you. But at the same time, you know, your relationship with your maker is probably not the greatest. You know what I mean? Probably not the greatest. I'm gonna scratch the word greatest. Probably not the most authentic, most genuine. May I say? Yeah, it might not be the most genuine. And through that disingenuine, uh, you know, revealing, like God is constantly showing Himself, like, hey, I'm right here, bro. I'm right here. You ain't gotta try to do it yourself. You ain't gotta keep, you know, putting on masks just to be in this room, or you know, developing, attaching and lining up to these ideologies, this belief system, that belief system. You ain't gotta keep risking your life, risking your, what I mean, compromising your morals just to get to the next level. You ain't gotta do that. I got you. He's like, I got you. You my child. You're my creation. Yeah, they run the so-called governments and you know, democracies and whatever it is you wanna spit out. Yeah, yeah. I created them too. I created that too. Yeah, you have your beliefs and your conspiracy theories and all that. But he's like he's like my child, my son, my daughter. Hey, I created that too. I created you to even think that. I created the pieces for you to even witness that. And that alone should that alone should humble you to the point where, what am I even thinking? Why am I trying to think this through? Why am I trying to decode, break the code on this life shit? Like, who am I to, like, yeah, it gets fun, right? It gets fun to have your little free thinking sessions and, debates and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's creative, you know what I mean? It's fun. But at some point, you have to come down from that and actually seek truth, right? You actually have to attach to actual truth in order to keep this thing at least progressing. If not, you're just gonna be spinning your wheels. You're just gonna be spinning your wheels. You do what you do. What you do? Your life expectancy, 70, 70. Late 70s. That's life expectancy of most motherfuckers in America right now. 79 is to be exact, the top, and that's white people. Us black people are right underneath that, 76 or something like that. Anybody outside of that window, it's 80s, 90s. You know what I mean? But what I was getting at is, boom, your life expectancy is that, and then you know what, your whole life you pretty much what you're doing the regular 9 activities, and it's all controlled by you know the top free thinkers, the ones that actually put themselves in position to play a mini god. You know what I mean? Completely, ultimately disrespecting the truth. Like they're like the epitome of disrespecting the truth. You know what I mean? Disrespecting you know our maker, our creator, the most high. Uh, so you doing these activities your whole life, you know what I'm saying? Working, what, school, school work, you know what I mean? Entertainment, and you're doing these things day in and day out. And like I said, throughout these years of living, your experiences and things like that are forming your beliefs, system. It's strengthening it damn near. Like it's, you know what I'm saying, giving it a heartbeat, damn near. It's got a heartbeat, basically. And can't nobody tell you nothing on it, right? Like you believe in this so tough that all because you shit you have a right to, right? These is what they tell you right here in these systems, right? They tell you, hey, you have these rights and that right, and what, free speech, and you know what I mean? All these different things. It's like to the point where you got those in your head and you completely just disregard God's laws. You just completely disregard, the commandments, like God's order. You completely disregard God's order. Most definitely. Matter of fact, you completely uh, uh, you put God last. You don't even put God first. We all do it. I'm one of them. That's the thing. Like, and for me to even recognize this is why I love that I'm being seen. And like I always say this in my day. I always say, I thank you, God, for loving me first. Like, basically, I love you, Lord. I love you, Heavenly Father. But I thank you for loving me first. Like basically, I know I'm out there. I know I was out there. I know I was straight. I was, you know what I mean? And you still held on to a nigga. You still held. I'm free thinking like a motherfucker. I'm thinking I could take this and I'll be straight. I'm thinking I could do this and, you know, okay, the little white God on this earth, the little white little mini gods on this earth, them lock me up. I'ma bounce back. You know, you thinking that you could just take all this shit. You can do it all. And of course, once again, like I said, just like every other human, when you in a jam, you call on who? And then when you in a triumphant win, you're like, who you call on. You like, thank you, Lord. Like these are the first things but in your daily, which becomes just monotonous because, hey, you got their laws on the forefront of your brain, tattooed to your brain. You got their ways. This worldly way, or once again, like I said, you got your own. You the president. You the CEO of your own worldview. So just you know, even if it kept you alive, even if it keeps you strong, so to speak, even if it keeps you, you know what I mean? You happy, what have you. The things you like to do makes you happy and what have you. But it's normalcy now. It becomes that's just who you is. It's subconscious. It's not even thought of. But once again, I'm gonna go back to the point of it completely ignores and disregards who your maker is. It completely just puts it on the back burner, you know, and you pull him out at your convenience, right? That's why I keep using the example of when things is good, you call on your maker. When things is bad, you call on your maker. But in between those windows, in between in that window in between, you know what I mean? The acknowledgement is very slim, thus exposing, you being a free thinker. You have all kind of temptations, all kind of, opportunities, all kind of influences throughout your daily, all your life, all your life. And like I said, these experiences and what have you mold your belief system, mold the way you think, forms the way you think, structures. You know what I mean? You end up yeah. You're the king of your belief system. You're the king of how you get down. You're the queen of how you get down. You know what I mean? Your whole belief system. Now, it does it align up? Does it align up with God's laws, God's ways, God's order? Nah, man. I only say it can't possibly line up with it because first off, number one thing as a human being, we look to survival. Like it basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type shit. So if it's been working for you, you surviving, you gonna keep going till that's your go-to. And we done made, and we're far removed. Like I say, I keep saying in 2025, we far removed from this way of thinking, this way of moving and operating in society, period. The commandments, and there's more than 10, the commandments is way removed from our normal day, our daily, way removed. No one is making that a thing. And if it is, it's here and there. It's spotted here and there. I guarantee you either your mother, your grandmother, your grandpa, somebody, your uncle speaks about it, and it goes in one ear and out the other to everybody at the function or what have you. You know what I mean? It's not really uh, 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 made It's not an attractive thing to people. You know what I mean? Nobody even sits and talks about the laws that these white people have made for you. Nobody sits and just talks about them. Not at 9 times out of 10, nobody even knows the laws like that, knows the Constitution or what have you. You have your twos and fews, but as a collective, you know what I mean? As a collective, people don't be really knowing the laws until they get in a jam and then it applies to them. That that alone exposes my point of free thinking is a danger, a harm to you. Because look, even in the system that they created off of them being a damn free thinker to make you follow their laws that they created as a damn free thinker, destructive laws to create it for you to, you know, follow, you even stray away from theirs as well. You're so much of a free thinker that, hey, you have your own set of laws, right? Of course, you have like some forbidden ones, and these things, line up even with God's laws. Like, boom, don't murder. If you murder, boom. The only thing different is here on earth. The white folks, they done put in place that if you murder somebody, they gonna put it. I don't know if they still doing lethal injection. Matter of fact, they don't do electric chair. Yeah, they'll put you in a damn lethal injection joint, or they'll just throw you in prison for life. That's what stops people from doing that. That's tattooed on everybody's fucking head. And then you go down the line, what, the rapes, the adultery, that's out the window. That happens all every day, all day. So does the raping. So does the murders too, all of it. All I'm saying is, as you go, as you go away from the extreme ones like the rape, the murder, and you know what I mean. As you go away from the extreme ones, the other ones become just second nature. It's pretty much, oh, you got to catch my hand in the cookie jar type deal type shit. You know what I mean? Like everybody doing it, but everybody also knows how to not get caught. That's a free thinker like a motherfucker, right? The culture is basically the culture is basically teaching people how to be criminals, how to be, you know, man. If you get what I'm saying, man, a free thinker, free thinking is not all sexy of a word. The lifestyle is not as sexy as how it sounds. You know, I'm a free thinker. I'm a free spirit. Like it's not. It's not. It doesn't hold the. Because it sounds like it comes with like positivity. It comes with like just growth and progress and you know what I mean. Like just it sounds like it's natural, but it's not. But it's not. Yeah, but it's not though. It's actually destructive. It does you more harm than helps you. It does you more harm than it does benefit you. And this is one of the reasons why, you know, uh, once again, I'm speaking on this is because this is my journey. This is my take on me tapping into this. It's almost like, the Most High hollered at me and was like, hey, bruh, like, because I've also spoke on the manner of being isolated, being preserved. So with that said, in alignment with those two things, like it's like I'm being heard, being seen, and I'm also actually listening. Within that isolation and within that being preserved, and it allows me to tap into such things like this, like when it comes to free thinking. Once again, like boom, I'm free to smoke a cigarette. I'm free to smoke a blunt. I'm free to damn sip a, you know what I mean? I'm free to do anything. I'm free to go do anything I want. You are too. Now, of course, boom. You make it home. You make it home. You know what I mean? Smash whatever. Make it home back to the honeycomb. After doing a lot of these things done been made normal. Well, here in 2025, most of it is normal. So you're not even looking at it like it's destroying you, causing more harm to you. You're not even looking at it like that. Oftentimes, most of these things don't get, you don't start looking at it as goofy or destructive or anything like that until it actually is later in your life when it actually starts taking a toll on your body or what have you. See, that's what I mean by it kills you slowly, even if, you know, to you, because you just a human. Like this, that's another thing, man. People be trying to make it seem like motherfuckers is like so, like, no, you ain't no god, man. You ain't no god, man. I don't care if you split atoms. I don't care if you sent something to the moon. You not no god. All that meant is that your free thinking allowed you to do that. But I want you to know, even greater than that, God allowed you to even have the opportunity to be a free thinker. And guess what? That wasn't even designed for you to actually take it and run with it. You know what I mean? Just go no holds barred with it. Just any and everything. Create these religions. Create these sinister ass laws and, you know, codes and, you know what I'm saying? Start destroying the waters, destroying the lands, you know what I mean? And you're thinking that you got whole campaigns behind it. Oh, go green, eco-friendly and shit like that. And it's like, you know damn well you ain't like that. You know what I mean? You know damn well it ain't like that. Like you're so much of a free thinker that you're like scamming the other motherfuckers to make them feel like it's this is the way to go. This is the way to go. Jump on this wave of being a free thinker. Jump on this wave. You're free to do anything you want. You're free to think any way you want to think. And yeah, you are. Everything comes with results, though. Everything comes with, you know, consequence. You know, like it's even boom. I'm gonna throw this in there. Even when if you was to look at free thinker as like some hippie, some tree hugger, or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Their whole life is not foolproof either. So you know what I mean? Anything you could think of, like any human being on this earth, everybody's free to do whatever it is you want to do. Now, does that make it truth though? Like, is it true though? Like basically, is it like order? Is that like the way?